am not the type of person who usually believes rumors or supposed leaks. That's why people always say, oh, take this with a grain of salt, and it makes sense because usually rumors aren't true. I gave up. This is just too exciting. Let's talk about it some more. 3.5 months. That is how long it has been since the Super Mario 35th Anniversary 3D Mario Collection was first rumored for the Nintendo Switch. And I have to be honest, since my initial reaction to these rumors, my excitement levels have not quite been the same. They have surpassed themselves. Now look, I have to be honest, the thing about this that is by far the most exciting to me with the whole Mario 35th Anniversary rumor is the 3D Mario Collection. I mean, I think it's probably safe to say that is the biggest part of this, right? And with the Nintendo Direct being rumored for the very near future, I thought today it would be fun to chat a little bit more about this 3D Mario Collection that is hopefully real. So hopefully if you're excited about Mario's 35th anniversary, then together we can share our enthusiasm in this video and explore all of the possibilities for these 3D Mario remasters. Here's the thing, people all over the place are talking about how we might get a Nintendo Direct very soon, and to be honest, it has kind of been overwhelming to me. I don't know if it's the fact that we haven't really had any big Nintendo news in so long, or maybe it's the fear that this Mario rumor won't actually be true, but something about the fact, or the rumor, that we're getting a Nintendo Direct very soon kind of feels surreal to me. And likewise, if these Direct rumors are not true, then it would seem less likely for the Mario rumors to be the same, because we are getting to the point where if these 3D Mario remasters are happening, they would need to be announced soon. Couple all of this with the fact that I probably won't be at home on Monday, which is the day that this rumored Direct is supposed to take place. And so, my emotions are kind of all over the place right now. All this to say, we might be getting a Nintendo Direct very soon, and if so, I'm willing to bet that this is when the 35th anniversary Mario celebrations for the year will really kick off. Let's run through why I think this will be the case. A lot of information has been coming out recently that supports the 3D Mario Remasters rumor. For starters, the initial leak itself came from multiple sources back in late March this year. Additionally, since this all began, we have seen the announcement and eventual release of a new Paper Mario game for the Switch, which lends some more legitimacy to these rumors because that was one of the titles in the initial leak. Another important factor is Nintendo's recent collaboration with LEGO. Not only creating Mario-themed LEGO sets this year, but also a LEGO Nintendo Entertainment System based specifically on the original Super Mario Bros. For NES, which is the game that marks 35 years for the series. And finally, there was also the recent discovery of a private Twitter account by the name of Super Mario 35th, created back in March this year, which could very possibly be the Twitter account Nintendo is planning to use for the Mario anniversary once it is officially unveiled. The reason for this, besides the peculiar name and date on the account, is also because the email associated with it looks to be the same one Nintendo uses for their other Twitter accounts. I also want to say that there's still a part of me that thinks this rumor can't be true. I mean, I've learned from similar situations like this not to always believe things right off the bat. But honestly, even putting the lack of Nintendo news this year aside, I'd rather let myself be excited about something that probably isn't going to happen than just be pessimistic and negative about the future. There is certainly something to be said about being cautiously optimistic though, which is probably the best mindset to have here. But personally, I'm just letting myself be optimistically optimistic about it because even if it doesn't end up being true, at least I will have enjoyed my time being excited about the possibility of it. Anyways, enough of that. I think it's time to talk about the games now. Should we talk about the games? Yeah, we should probably do that. If I'm being honest, out of the 3D Mario re-releases / remasters, whatever you want to call them, the one that I'm actually most excited about is Super Mario Sunshine. The idea of seeing Isle Delfino in a beautiful HD format excites me so much. Also, getting to witness all the cutscenes in that game with an added modern cinematic touch, whether that be through lighting, high-res textures, what have you, will just be so cool. I also think there's a lot that could be fixed or at least tightened up about Super Mario Sunshine, which is another reason I'm excited for Nintendo to revisit the game. If they could fix some of the physics issues, even out the pacing, and maybe even replace some of the tedious and repetitive shines with new, fully fleshed out worlds, that would be so cool. Super Mario 64, I feel like you can still go back and have an equally magical experience with that game. And the same goes for Galaxy. I'm not saying I'm not excited for those, but I do think the original Sunshine perhaps might not hold up as well if you haven't gone back to the game since your childhood. So I think with some readjustments, it would be awesome for a modern Super Mario Sunshine to be everything that it has the potential to be. On the topic of Mario 64 though, the thing I'm most excited about for that game is seeing it brought to life with newer graphics. It's funny hearing myself say that because usually that's not at all an important thing about Mario games or even Nintendo games in general. But I have to admit, if they do go the full remaster route, it'll be so cool to see Mario 64 reimagined with new character models and shaders and textures and all of that. And even if they don't go that extra mile, even just playing the old polygonal Mario 64 the way it always has been on my Switch, maybe in a widescreen format though, that would also be really cool. Moving on from visuals though, I'd also love to see some smaller changes to Mario 64. Nothing huge, but I do think that without that retro flair of the original art style and graphics, in other words, if the game was rebuilt as is but just with modern day visuals, some of its issues might start to show a little more. For example, I'm a little fearful that Peach's castle, especially the interior, might be seen as a bit barren and quiet when looked at through a more modern lens. It's just kind of built up of all these big rooms that, of course, house paintings, which lead you to all the different levels of the game, which is great. But I think it would be cool if we could see more hustle and bustle around the castle. Like, what if instead of just the occasional stationary toad, there were constantly toads walking around the castle with their own agendas, personalities, and so on? Maybe not even just toads, maybe other characters too. Make the castle feel more like an authentic, lived-in space, rather than just a hub for a bunch of levels. Don't get me wrong, I love Peach's Castle as a hub world, but I think there's a lot they could add to it to really enhance the liveliness of that location. That said, I guess part of the deal is that Bowser took over the castle, so maybe instead of what I suggested, how about there are more toads and characters that occupy the castle as you progress throughout the game? I don't know, little things like this I think could just go a long way in breathing new life into these classic titles, without necessarily taking away from them. The last game I haven't really talked about of the 3D Marios is Super Mario Galaxy. And honestly, the game is already breathtaking and cinematic and astronomical, and they could seriously just take the game and plop it on the Switch with a higher resolution and call it a day. This does, however, bring up an interesting point, which is whether or not Galaxy 2 will come to the Switch as well. Personally, as much as I wish it would happen, I actually feel like Nintendo is going to save Galaxy 2 for later. I think 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy are sort of the holy trinity of 3D Mario, whereas Galaxy 2 is also amazing and considered even better than the original by a lot of people, but even then, the original Galaxy just feels more substantial in terms of representing the 3D Mario series and how it's changed over the years. I think Nintendo wants to have Galaxy 2 in their back pocket in case the original Galaxy does well on Switch, and they can re-release it down the line. After all, that seems like the smart thing to do, especially considering we're already getting 3 whole 3D Mario games this year. Again, rumored, but you know what I mean. There's also 3D World Deluxe, which has been rumored as part of this, but I mean, I think 3D World is a really great game. I just don't have much to say about it. It's awesome that it's hopefully coming to the Switch, and honestly, without any of these rumors, I think it would anyways, because like I said, it's a stellar game, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to play on the Switch, especially with Joy-Cons, but I don't really have much to say about it, so I'm just gonna move on. There is one last 3D Mario game that has yet to be mentioned throughout any of this, but I've seen some people ask about it, and so I thought I would bring it up. It's not what you're thinking. It is not Super Mario 3D Land. What I'm talking about is Super Mario 64 DS. And no, I don't think anything that has to do with Super Mario 64 DS is going to be involved in the Super Mario 64 remaster. Look, if you grew up playing 64 DS, I did too, so I get it. I loved playing poker with Luigi and drawing Mario's face on the title screen. There's a lot about 64 DS that I love. I just don't think any of the added content was substantial enough to deservedly stand alongside the original game. So I don't think 64 DS is really going to be involved in any of this, to be honest. Okay, I've got to stop soon because I have to get this video out before the Nintendo Direct, which is probably going to immediately deem this video irrelevant. But on top of everything, I just want to say this. If you are excited about something and you want yourself to be excited about it, allow yourself the freedom to think and theorize about the games and franchises that you would only dream would come to the Switch. I know you might be afraid of getting yourself too hyped up and then being underwhelmed at the final product, but to me, the excitement and anticipation for these games is just as much fun as playing the games themselves. I know these 3D Mario rumors might not be true, but I've accepted that and I'm all the more excited because of it. All right, that's it. I gotta end this soon. So thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully we'll get a direct very, very soon. Stay tuned to CC Media for all sorts of unique and fun Nintendo-related content, and let me know what you think about the Mario 35th Anniversary 3D Mario Remasters collection, which is hopefully going to happen. Oh man, I'm fumbling through my words here. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.